my journey that led me to Dr. Brad started about 3.5, almost 4 years ago. I started suffering from severe neck pain. It progressively was getting worse. I went to see my dermatologist as I have psoriasis, and he thought that it could be the start of psoriatic arthritis. So he suggested that I go to my general practitioner, get a referral to a rheumatologist, and we'd find out what was going on. So I went to my GP, she gave me a prescription, referred me to a rheumatologist. The appointment was about 4 to 5 months after that. The neck pain was getting worse. Tried the prescriptions, they weren't doing anything for me at all. At this point it had progressed to where I was sleeping about 2 hours at a time at night. I could not get comfortable. I tossed and turned all night. I went to see the rheumatologist. That was in February. He suggested that we get an MRI done. So that was 6 months after that. During that time the pain was getting worse and worse. Again, a couple more prescriptions, naproxen, Celebrex, you name it, I tried it, and nothing was really helping. It would maybe let me get an extra hour of sleep. So had the MRI done, then had to wait another 2 months to get the results of the MRI. Went back to the rheumatologist, handed me another prescription, didn't say anything about my neck pain, but said that I had something starting in my lower spine and we needed to take care of that. So wanted to get some more testing done. By this time it was August, September. I had some testing done. By October I was in so much pain. I was sleeping about an hour at a time a night. I'd sleep for an hour. I'd toss and turn for an hour and a half to 2 hours, sleep for an hour, and on it went. It was torture, to say the least. Sleep deprivation is not fun. I'm sorry if I'm getting a little emotional, but I look back and it was really hard, and I wonder how I got through it at all. Really, all I knew about chiropractors was that Alan on 2.5 Men was one, and Charlie was always making fun of him for that. So I was a little hesitant. So I took the bull by the horns and I said, I'm doing this. I need to do something. So I came in and I spoke to Sarah and I spoke to Dr. Brad, and the thing that really got me was that they said, we can help you. And that gave me hope, because in the 3 years prior to that, nobody had been able to help me. Nobody gave me any answers. And for the first time I actually went home that night and breathed a huge sigh of relief. But I knew I had another long journey ahead of me, but I could see the light at the end of the tunnel at this point. So I started chiropractic care. I knew it wasn't going to fix anything overnight. I knew I had to be committed to it. And over a few weeks, I started to find I was sleeping a little bit longer every night, and then a little bit longer. I went back to see my rheumatologist that December, and he looked at my test results and he said, okay, well, we're going to try you on this medication. It suppresses your immune system, da-da-da-da-da. And I said, well, I started to see a chiropractor because I couldn't take the pain anymore. And he asked, well, who are you seeing? And I told him, well, it's a Gonstead chiropractor, and he's actually helping. And he sat there and didn't say anything. And he said, I go to a chiropractor too. In fact, I go to see Dr. John, who's also a Gonstead chiropractor. And I was so angry because there was an option for me that didn't even get mentioned. It was good enough for him, but it wasn't good enough for me as a patient. And the worst part of it was that I had sat in that waiting room for 3 hours from my appointment time. And the feeling in the waiting room was one of anger and frustration from the other 20-odd people that were sitting there waiting. So I said, okay, so where do we go from here? He said, well, keep doing what you're doing and come back and see me in March. So that was just this past December. It's now January, and I started seeing Dr. Brad in October. I'm not 100% yet, but I'm sleeping 5 to 6 hours a night. My stress level has dropped considerably. I don't know if it's just because of that I'm feeling better or that I'm sleeping more, but I know I've got a ways to go. Coming to my appointment in the afternoon to see Dr. Brad and walking in, and people are sitting, waiting for their maybe 5 or 10 minutes for their appointment. And people are saying, hello, how are you? There's joy, there's happiness, there's hope. So I think all that I can really say is that there's hope, there's someone that can help, and I wish that both of those medical communities could come together and work together instead of the patients having to source out their own care and find the answers that they need and that will give them hope. So I feel like I'm my old self again, and I know I'm not there yet, but I'm going to get there. Keep pushing me, and really it is absolutely worth giving a try. 100%. I'll get there.